In this clip, we're checking out Boss Talk's one-on-one review about NBA YoungBoy speaking out while Larry Hoover's legal status remains uncertain. Despite headlines claiming freedom, the truth reveals deeper legal entanglements. Trump's role in the situation may not be what it seems. Here's what's really happening behind the scenes. Let's check it out.
Fox 13 newsroom, Louisiana rap artist NBA YoungBoy says he's been pardoned by President Trump after being sentenced by a Utah judge to 2 years in federal prison on gun-related charges last November. The rapper, whose real name is Kentrell Gaulden, announced on social media he is among several people pardoned by the president this week. Last year, Gaulden acknowledged having possessed weapons despite being a convicted felon.
Other big story of the day. This is a 2 News exclusive. A well-known rapper is back in Utah after serving prison time on a federal gun charge.
Wow, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. Man, you know, I took just looking at all the stuff, because a lot of stuff was happening when you look at NBA YoungBoy being pardoned. It was such a dope experience to see. After, you know, getting the gun charge. And it's crazy to me, you know, a lot of people got to celebrate these young folks when you see them get a second chance. And they deserve it. A lot of times these people are young when this stuff is going on. A lot of the bonehead mistakes you make, I made mistakes. And you pray that you get a second chance. You pray that somebody will see you and say, hey, man, I know Boosie, he shouted out to, Trump, man, give me, you know, I wish they'd free them all. I love seeing people get second, third chance. I know that's just how I am when it comes down to the people that, you know, have been through things and have had a chance to acknowledge their wrongs and say, you know what, man, I understand what I got now, and I'm trying to figure this out. And I was this age when this happened, but I'm this age now, and I'm trying to push through this. And a lot of times that don't happen. So for them to have these blessings, you got to acknowledge and be respectful of the fact of how it happened, who was the ones who gave these dope alley-oops to try to get these people pardoned, man. Shout out to Brittany K. Barnett. You know, she's one of the ones, an attorney that I've seen for years go out on a limb trying to help the people who's going through these situations. You know, very special type people, man, you know. And we have people around here like David Hudson, people who have helped. I believe Craig Watkins, a lot of them passed on, but there was a lot of people that not falsely accused or they didn't get them right. And then you don't have nobody to, you know, go out to bat for you a lot of times, or you're not educated on how to get somebody to go up to bat for you, or people just turn a blind eye, or you trying to, I remember, you know, even when you try to write up appeal slip, you know, sheets and try to do it on your own sometime without the infrastructure and the support, it falls on deaf ears. You got to have people who understand what's going on with the law, that can go in there and try to get you into the situation to where you can be pardoned. You know, shout out to Terrell Red, different people who fought and got, you know, things done, like Larry Hoover getting commuted. Like, you got to have somebody who's steadily fighting and pushing to get you these situations to happen for you. And that's one thing you just got to do, man. Like I said, Brittany K. Barnett, she's one of the ones that I look at. David Hudson, different people who are, I feel, when it comes down to being attorneys, trying to figure out ways to help people through other people, whatever it may be. Pick that phone up and say, hey, man, here's what you need to do. Let's do this, and that. And you know, look at what happened for NBA YoungBoy. Look at what happened for Larry Hoover. Like, these are things that we need. These things need to happen, man. A lot of times, like I said, ridiculous charges are being put on different people forever. And it's like, you're not getting out of this, you know. Lil Wayne was pardoned. These are things that I'm seeing, man. And shout out to Trump. You can't be mad at what he's doing. I've talked to a lot of people with conflicting oh man, he's not this and he's not that, and man, Trump ain't this, and next thing you know, he'll pull a move like this, and oh man, why did he do that? He did that for a reason. Man, he didn't just do that. He doing that because he's doing something else. And you hear all these things, and I get it, but thank God that these guys got these situations to happen for them. Larry Hoover, NBA YoungBoy, any of these guys, man. Like I said, when you go back to Lil Wayne and all these other people that you've seen these things happen for, oh, he's got this going on. Oh, that's what you're saying, and I hear you loud and clear. But let's not neglect the fact that it was a process, and there was a place where these guys had to be positioned in order to get these things even to happen for them. Shout out to the people who linked up, who got yoked up together and said, we're going to try to keep pushing for a cause for these guys. I got to say that, man. So when I see the fans putting out petitions and all kind of stuff for these guys, man, I'm not for the hate on that. I'm not going to do it. And I've talked to some people, like I said, who just refuse to acknowledge the fact and say, you know what, man, he trying to do something. Trump trying to figure out another way, man. He's sliding something past us and all. I get what you're saying, man, but shout out to these brothers that look like me that are given a second chance. Shout out to Larry Hoover, who now have a possibility to come home. You know, it's possible. He could come home and not have to die in that place, man. Those are the things I look at. And man, like I said, Larry Hoover Jr. is my partner. It's a lot of people that I rock with, and since I started this podcast thing, and it's just a lot of people that showed me a lot of love, flew in on their own dime, showed me so much respect. And me and my wife and everybody, when I hit these different cities, they're going to pull up. They're going to say, hey, man, thank God you made it into this. And as you heard yesterday, I played Larry Hoover Jr. was like, hey, man, you know, people like you who give us a voice. And when you give us this voice, it's able to, you know, it's in a positive manner and not trying to figure out a way to slander my dad's name and all that. These are the things that we are here for. That's what I'm here for. That's why I always go hard for us when it comes down to situations like these where people are stuck. Anybody that's been locked up for over 50 years like that, and you ain't get them right, and you know already the people that done way worse is coming home, or y'all are getting released, and it's just sad that when we see each other, it's hate for hate. Somebody looking at this will be like, oh man, I don't even like that dude. You know, that dude right there, man, he ain't doing it the right. You know, I get it, bro. But then what you're doing, you're not doing anything. You basically just sitting back talking about the people doing something and ain't even trying to get on here and even say 2 words to try to be consistent on helping to do anything for a cause. And I get it. You got to be there too, because Paul said every time I do good, evil was present. So evil got to be present anytime you're doing good. Anytime you're trying to do something positive, evil is always going to be present too. So you got to acknowledge that and keep it moving. That's the part of the, you know, that's that scale. That's that balance, that evil for good. And that's what pushed things up, you know. So thank y'all. The haters got to be thanked too. Like I said, man, let me see if it's something I can read just to, you know, just give, it says right here, Louisiana rapper, artist, NBA YoungBoy, who was sentenced to just under 2 years in prison on a gun-related charges, was pardoned by President Donald Trump on Wednesday. The rapper is among a number of high-profile people Trump pardoned this week, including a former New York congressman, a labor union leader, and a reality TV star couple. I want to thank President Trump for granting me a pardon and giving me the opportunity to build as a man, as a father, and as an artist. NBA YoungBoy, whose real name is Kentrell Gaulden, said in a statement posted online. Gaulden's pardon was confirmed Wednesday evening by 2 White House officials who spoke on the conditions of anonymity to detail the action that had not yet been formally made public. In 2024, Gaulden was sentenced by a federal judge in Utah after he acknowledged possessing weapons despite being convicted felon. He reached an agreement that resolved the Utah state charges against him and settled 2 sets of federal charges against him. One carried a 23-month sentence and the other ordered 5 years ago on probation for a $200,000 fine. Galton was released from federal prison in March and sent to home confinement after receiving credit for time served. According to his attorney, Drew, findings with home confinement finished last month. The pardon means he won't have to follow the terms of the probation, including drug testing, he said. Now, let me just say this. I got to say this, NBA YoungBoy, if you can hear the sound of my voice, don't let this be a get out of jail card for you to go out here and drug yourself out, homie. I remember the pills laying on the floor and all that stuff. And I'm a big fan of what you do as far as the music go. But I got to acknowledge, being a person that got airwaves, man, don't let this be a green card for you to go out here and start playing with them drugs again, because I'm telling you right now, God gave you a second chance. I don't think it's likely that you can catch lightning in a bottle twice. This man done pardoned you. And now you got to stand up and do the right thing for your kids. You got to do the right thing for the family that God has centered you around. You got a young son that's over there with Floyd Mayweather who needs you out here, bro. So I'm telling you now, man, a good father, as it says in the book of Proverbs, leaves the inheritance to his children's children. And a lot of time when people look at that, they think it's talking about money. But we talking about something bigger and definitely more important than money. That inheritance is not even money can't equate to the inheritance that you can leave him by being there for him. Time is more precious than money. Health is more precious than money. So I'm telling you right now, man, don't let this be a thing where it sends you back to a situation where you caught up with them drugs, man. And I'm telling you that now, man, because it'll take you down fast. Because you've been, the devil is kicked out of a situation. The good books say he come back to the house that's swept and garnished with 7 times more demons and try to figure out a way to get you. So you will be tempted again, bro. You will get situations where people going to try to push you in those situations where get you caught up. But I hope that the break that you had gotten is enough to keep you on the straight and narrow, to keep you from going back into those situations. I hope and pray that what you just experienced being locked up, because I know what time can do for you. And if you used it wisely, you could have got something in here and in here that will pretty much keep you and sustain you out here in these streets. I hope that you're being the leader that God has made you to be. With the people around you, I hope you hadn't put yes men around you, because these yes men will have you right back in the situation. So you have to have people around that can say, hey, man, that ain't it right there. If you don't want those type of people constructed around you, you could end back in the same situation. I don't call it a big homie. I call it could be one of your close homies that just say the right thing. Don't have to be OG, don't have to be no older cat. If it is, that's fine. But if it's not, that's fine too. Just need to be somebody that's grounded and that'll say the right thing to you in the worst moments, where it might not be popular to the other people that's in the group with you, around you, that's doing all the things contrary. It won't be but one. It may be 2, but it'll be a small amount of people around you that will say what needs to be said in a time when everybody else gonna be pretty much just trying to ride the wave. There's 3 types of people, man. I always say it. There's comrades, there's constituencies, and there's confidants. A comrade pretty much is with you, as long as y'all pretty much whatever, doing the same thing. And a confidant is quite different. But at the end of the day, the ones that are with you, that pretty much just go the distance with you, and whenever a bump in the road hit, pretty much, and y'all not going against the same cause, they get off the boat. That's a part of it too. So you got to watch these 3 type of people. But that confidant is the one that he's gonna be with you through thick and thin. There's only a few that's confidants. And you got to understand that. You got to understand that, man. Get the confidant around you, bro. And I know already, like, man, he's just talking, man, blah, blah. No, bro. You looking at a dude who ain't had a drink, smoke in 30-something years, who was into all kind of stuff. I know God can change your life. And that's a lot of the reason a lot of dudes don't like rocking with me, the ones who don't, because they can see the good in me. So they don't want to be around that. That exposed them that are dark. So it tells you that, yeah, you can go through situations, but God can change your life. And that's the part everybody want to run from, because they don't want to acknowledge that God can change you, because if he changed you, he could change me. So I don't know where all that come from, but NBA YoungBoy, I'm glad that you're home, and now I'm glad that you're pardoned, and you got to thank God for what Trump made happen for you. Now, Larry Hoover is another one that pretty much has been commuted. I played this a little bit yesterday, but Kanye said some stuff when he went the first time, and I believe Kim Kardashian was trying to help get some people out of their situation, and did get some. C. Murder's another one that we keep missing. Man, hopefully, we can help these people not to have to die in that prison, man. Die in these different situations in confinement. What did Kanye say? Let's see.
And also, Larry Hoover is an example of a man that was turning his life around. And as soon as he tried to turn his life around, they hit him with 6 life sentences. So I believe you say don't tear down the statues. Larry Hoover is a living statue. He's a beacon for us that needs to see his family, that needs to go out and represent. When you have a block leader on every single block, they can own the block as their own. That's something I learned from Jim Brown, from A Mayor I Can. We need to put curriculums from people who really came from the streets, not people who are just trying to set us up to go into a work system or prison system that applies to what people are really going through, which Jim Brown has created.
What about gun violence, with all the debate about the Second Amendment going on?
The problem is illegal guns. Illegal guns is the problem, not legal guns. We have the right to bear arms.
Wow. Guys, y'all heard that. He said we have the right to bear arms. That was Kanye during the first term that Trump was in office, up there going to bat, trying to get Larry Hoover. He did a whole campaign, if you don't remember. A lot of y'all we not with Kanye. Nah, I get it. But you can't take away what he did. You can't take away what he's done trying to figure out things to help. He didn't have to go up there and do that. But because of his heart, he went up there and did that. So at the end of the day, when I see Ye getting to it like that, I got to acknowledge that, man. He did that. He went up there. He was hanging out with Larry Hoover Jr. They was on songs together. They was campaigning, man, to get a situation going for Larry Hoover, to get him home, man. You cannot not acknowledge this man when he did all this stuff. And I gotta say that, man. Shout out to Kanye for going up there and making his voice known and sitting before it with Jim Brown sitting there beside him at the time. If you go back and watch that, Jim Brown sitting right there next to him. And I think that was dope, man. Come on, man. Y'all gotta stop trying to make it like just cause somebody done something that you don't like, you canceling them out and you don't rock with them no more, man. Get over it, bro. Give people their roses while they're here. When they gone, y'all love to jump up and give people their roses when they gone, because now you don't feel like you have to compete against them. So you now give them their roses. Man, he was a good man. And no, you a hater. How about that? You hating because when he was alive, you wasn't even strong enough to get up and say it because you was competing with him instead of eating with him. I mean, I got to get out of that. But just because a person has some issues in life, don't give up on everybody so easy. That's what we do, just to try to get a few people, to agree with us. Majority do this stuff, and then y'all, really, to be honest with you, y'all easy way outers. That's why the divorce rate and everything else, y'all take the easy way out because y'all feel like, hey, man, everybody else is saying this, so I'm going to say it too. But I'm going to say this right here. Shout out to Kanye for going up there and with Jim Brown and campaigning to try to get Larry Hoover out when he did, when nobody else was able to even get up that close and approach him. And the criticism and the stuff he took while trying to do it was crazy. I remember that. I'm not crazy. I remember that. So shout out to him. Ye said in the latest tweet after this happened with Larry Hoover, words can't express my gratitude for our devoted, enduring President Donald Trump for freeing Larry Hoover. Yeah, I mean, kudos to the whole situation. I see brothers come home. I'm not going to sit and act like we don't see a lot of the other things that has happened with President Trump. But I do see the good in the midst of the craziness. I do see the good in the midst of things that look crazy to us. I do see the things that are done that helps push the needle when it comes down to people not having to die in prison, not getting caught up in a situation where they might end up pretty much on their probation violating and going back to prison. Pardons and stuff like that mean something for the moment. And I just want to tell y'all, man, all of y'all, bruh, man, just be happy with the situations that you see, and get the good out of it, man, and exclude the bad, push the bad away, man. Thank you guys for watching Boss Talk 101. I just got up to say a few words because I know, like I said, a lot of times people are not going to say certain things, and I'm going to say them. I appreciate the listeners. Boss Talk 101 reviews, man. Make sure you look and you'll see where we spoke about Larry Hoover yesterday, and Larry Hoover Jr. I showed, things with his son that I rock with them, man. And like I said, anytime somebody has been in chains, shout out to Fred Hampton Jr. who say free them all, because he know his dad and everybody else went through hell. But look at this next clip right here, and you'll see it right here. Make sure you watch it. It's very important. And guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my channel and try to help us to push the needle, man. We got a lot of big things happening. Our app is about to be launched. So the app, you'll be able to, directly deal with us. And also, we're still going to be pushing things on social media platforms. But right here, guys, get that next, hit that right now, guys. That video, man, talking about pretty much Larry Hoover been pardoned. Boss Talk 101 reviews.